In the 1980s, more than half of Pacific households in Aotearoa, New Zealand lived in houses they owned. By 2018, it had dropped to just 21% in on this four-part radio documentary. Whatever that is, it's the documentary series. The next line as well. Some housing experts are hopeful that declining Pacific home ownership figures can be reversed. Others concern the majority will be confined to being long-term renters. What's our thoughts here?
It's tough, bro. It's really tough.
It's not just for Pacific people. New Zealand's tough.
New Zealand's tough, but home ownership in the Asian community is very high.
Right.
And what's really important in this discussion is you do not lose sight. It's a direct correlation. Is the population of the Asian community now is more than Māori community. And there's been mass immigration that's happened in the last 10 or 15 years where since 2006 to 2018, the Asian community has increased 160%. The Pacific community has only increased 50%. So there is a huge impact that immigration is having on Pacific ability to own houses. And if you don't believe me, come to fucking Manurewa, bro. That place was all Pacific Islander. It's all Indian now. And that has a flow-on effect. And that's a government policy. Like you overseas foreign buyers are supposed to be banned, but you can get consent from the Overseas Investment Office, the OIA. There are ways to get consent. And there are also exemptions. So you can also, a foreigner can buy property in New Zealand so long as it's, for example, apartments and other stuff. And then you can also get consent from the government if it's beneficial to New Zealand, if it's beneficial to government policy, right? And then there's these two other environmental ones which they don't give a fuck.
What does beneficial look like?
Exactly. So if you have a government like National who hates fucking Māori and Pacific people, then there's a benefit to fucking take their houses and take their communities. And remember Julius Vogel in 1870, remember I've said this before, but Julius Vogel said, the Premier of New Zealand said, we don't need to fight Māori anymore. I can exterminate Māori using immigration. We need to colonize again, but bring me lots and lots of Europeans, and I can exterminate their political voice, and they will become minorities in their own country. So 150 years ago, they used immigration to destroy the Māori communities and the indigenous voice politically, completely outnumbering them. They know this trick. And this is what's happened, because this massive influx of Asian people cannot happen without the consent of the government. And remember, 2006, this isn't just the national government. This is Labour government as well. Yeah. And so Pacific people used to be more than Asian people. Now we are nowhere near them. We are 8%. They are now 18% of the population. And that's only in the last 12 years. Okay, so immigration has a direct correlation and impact on home ownership, because now there's obviously we already have a housing crisis where there's not enough houses being built. But now, so we have a scarce amount of houses while the population keeps increasing, because now we're getting so many immigrants, foreigners coming in with this fixed amount of housing. Yeah. And they're coming in and they're not just buying houses, they're buying businesses. That's why every business on my block and down on Great South Road is all Indian or Asian owned. Like, that affects your ability to own houses. And so while we're waving the whole, what is it, colored, yeah, we're all colored people, you better be careful, man, fuck.
Yeah.
Not all brown folk is, brown folk, fuck. But that has a direct correlation to the housing problem. And then we have our own issues, is spending, our I don't want to say it, but there's things like church, there's a reason why Popeyes was put in Manurewa in the whole of New Zealand, because they know that we will allocate our money to fucking things that are going to destroy us. Vaping, there's fucking like 5,000 vape stores, there's only 170 McDonald's and 5,000 vapes. Majority of them is in South Auckland. So, and that's targeting our kids, and there's so much shit going on, man.
That's all real. That's not you don't need to shy away from it. That's, those are business decisions that people make on us.
Right. And we consume. And we have issues in my school where the kids are doing it, obviously it's banned, they're getting in trouble. Yeah, bro. So fucking from 10 years to 14, and we had a seminar on it, and it's over 400,000 kids between the ages of 15 and 24 have done it already. And the majority of them have never touched a cigarette. And remember, the majority of people who are running, who own the vape stores are Indian, right? And I've never seen an Indian with a vape. Maybe you guys have. I haven't. I've seen many Polynesian people with vape. So you got the vape store next to the fucking liquor store, next to the fast food store. Remember, the government invests over $300 million into Burger King, Coke, and fast food outlets in New Zealand, right? So there's a reason why it's fucking majority of them are in South Auckland. That shit isn't an accident, man. And all of this relates to housing and home ownership because, we got to make better decisions with our disposable income, but these are our choices in our faces and in our kids' faces. They're being slow on legislation to protect kids from vape. They still haven't done shit. So what British American Tobacco said about cigarettes. I want these to be smoked by kids because you give me a kid and I will have a customer for life. There's a reason why McDonald's has Happy Meals. You get the kids addicted and they will always feel like McDonald's is a treat for the rest of their life. I still feel that way. I feel like, oh, fuck, I'm still trying to fight the cravings that I had when I was a kid. Yeah. So they won't do legislation because they know vape is being consumed by brown children. Get them addicted. So there's so much going on in our communities. Obviously, we can make better decisions with our disposable income because paying off mortgages and shit, it's a sacrifice. I have Indian friends who their houses are packed, right? But they're on literally like rice and curry every fucking night because they're saving that money to try and pay off that mortgage, working together, and then they build equity, and then they go buy the next house where one of their members can move in. Yep. They all pay that. It's that group economics that we can do. Like there's no shame in living with your family at home. Absolutely no shame. That should be the way. The whole fucking move out and go pay rent when you're 18 years old and paying that rent to a landlord who's going to put that into the mortgage so they own that house when you can be staying at home with your family and pay off that house, and then gradually build from there. That's how Indians are doing, the group economics. They also buy their food from Indians, so I buy my curry shit. Just snitched on myself. So I buy my curry from an Indian restaurant, right? And it's packed with Indians. Yep. You know what I mean? Like they support their shit.
But that's how you know it's good.
Yeah, that's how you know it's good. Never go to an Indian a restaurant where it's Balangis and non-Indians.
At the Westgate or wherever it is. Bro. Go to the actual
Go to the
Indians.
grimiest looking fucking restaurant where all Indians are there. And but anyway, there's so much going on in our community. There's so many people are making money off us. So our people got money. Yeah. And I was looking at the median incomes, and our median income is the same as fucking Asians. It's like 28,000. It's the same. But there's a problem with the spending, and that's the big issue.